Today is April 26, 2026. It is 6:12 a.m. This is video number 4. All of those videos that I recorded today were supposed to be done over the week. I've been booked and tired. Who knows when I'm gonna edit this? By the time I edit them, there's gonna be new topics. Anyway, so let's go on X. There's a lot to share with you. Hopefully I don't have to create anymore. I'm trying to make all the videos unto 30 minutes. All right, next tweet. He's saying this now, but let's not forget he was part of that hate train at some point. Maybe not with the same tone and viciousness as the likes of Camilla Tomney and other tabloid hacks, but he took digs and then called out his press peers. All right, let's listen. This is Chris Chip.
And then Halo Trust, we just spoke about it. You're digging mines out of the ground, and Harry's work with that trust will bring in extra money to do that vital work. And yet, when I looked at my Twitter feed at some point this week, it was like, why is Harry in Ukraine and he's not going to see Prince Louis on his 8th birthday? It kind of makes you think, you know, just read what he's doing here and read what's going on here, and let's just remind ourselves that Ukraine's conflict has not finished. We might be focusing on Iran because that is the big news event of the last few months. But people here are still living with the war. And yeah, you're right to say, well, Royal Tour or not Royal Tour, if you're helping Invictus Games and all the injured soldiers here, and you're helping Halo Trust, I mean, why do people got beef with that? I don't understand.
And this is what.
And then Halo Trust.
From my understanding, Louis' father didn't even take him to places that he could have taken him. What is it? Some race car that William was checking, and some people brought up, you know, you could have taken the kid out for a few to go check out the car thing. But anyway, I don't know what they do in the background, but that's that. But what does Harry has to do with Prince Louis? All right. They may not be speaking, but who knows? He probably called and say happy birthday. William doesn't even care about Harry's children, so they keep the distance. Harry did say space.
As for his relationship with Prince William?
The relationship is space.
All right. Oh, my God. He is still part of the hate train, talking about Chris Chip. No, he isn't. He is Harry's go-to mouthpiece in the UK. I'm not in the UK to know what he's saying every day, but no, he's not. When Omid was part of the royal voters, when he tell his truth, when he report the truth, they call him out as Harry and Meghan's mouthpiece. But he's like, I'm just doing my job. All right, Sussex Squad were calling him Taliban Chris when Harry's book came out, and he wanted to know how they felt about his 25 kill Todo. But now that's all forgotten. Hopefully, people are beginning to understand that Harry is not that bad egg he has been depicted as by the UK press. He is doing a subtle rebrand because he wants access. Probably, I agree with that one. We've known for a while, statement about embargo gives him away. Just shows he's got no professional integrity or morals. Yeah, that I agree. Next tweet. If it was from the beginning, all right, like Omid is in a different level of ethic. He took his job seriously, and he understands the ethical aspect of journalism. And at the height of things, when he could have made money the same way these people were making money on bashing Meghan, Omid did not jump on the bandwagon to put money in his pocket. But with his brilliance, he wrote several books. He took advantage of the hype of the Sussex Squad and things like that. He wrote several books. I'm talking about Omid. Instead of jumping on the hate bandwagon and do all of this nonsense. I don't even think Omid does royal reporting anymore. But anyway, next tweet. Let's remind ourselves and the Sussex Squad that Chris Chip will probably change his tune the minute he is back in the UK and will start attacking Meghan. Let's not forget they're conveniently blaming her for everything. All right, so that's in video. but different caption. I think with Charlene there, it will be interesting. Chris just want access so that he can control Sussex narrative, especially in the UK, and hopefully get more paid appearances. Exactly. I don't understand why everyone is just buying into this. He is nothing but an opportunist. All very strange. He is not called Taliban Chris for no reason. She's trash. Okay, I'm aware of Chris Chips. Okay, I've known some of the things that he have said in the past, especially the Netherlands and Victus. He wanted to go inside the venue. He couldn't go in. So I'm aware of some stuff. The other lady, I have no clue. Next tweet. I don't follow him anyway. Next tweet. All right, I will always stand by Harry. All right.
Aside from having first-hand experience of battle in Afghanistan, Harry has also dedicated much of his life since then helping those who've been seriously injured in warfare. Now, Harry has many critics. Good grift, isn't it, picking on the guy who dares suggest Britain's first...
All right, before I forget this part here, as I was looking at this image here, I'm looking at this young man here. And many of them, but him in particular, so young, in a wheelchair already. Meanwhile, all those old people who are in charge, who creating those wars, they're sitting fine, their kids are fine, and these young people, I don't know, at some point, majority of human beings is gonna be walking with prosthetic and stuff like that, because those people are creating unnecessary wars. All right, so let's pick up from there.
Isn't it, picking on the guy who dares suggest Britain's first family is less than perfect? But I doubt there's anyone listening today who's done more for injured servicemen and women than Harry has. And then on the other side of this row, we have Donald Trump, who dodged the Vietnam draft not once, not twice, 3, 4, but 5 times. A man who's never served in battle but has created battlefields in which decent, upstanding men and women die, and whose cut saw, I think it's 28,000 veterans workers axed in the first wave. Aside from having first-hand experience of battle in Afghanistan.
Yeah, that guy hit the nail on the head. All right, unequivocally. This is no longer about preferring Harry and Meghan to William and Kate. This turbulent world needs confident, articulate, energetic, united couple, genuinely interesting in world affairs, reflecting the diverse population they serve. Let's face it, William and Kate simply aren't up to the job. That's for sure. Harry is a soldier and has very right to speak. I wish Matthew Wright still did the Channel 5 show that Jeremy Vine does. He was for fair. All right, respect, exactly. So let's see here. There's that. Hi. Let's pause this. I will forever support Prince Harry. 100%. Let's go into that, just focusing on those videos, and then I'll move to the next.
The royal family should reinstate Prince Harry's military honours, and they should honour and respect whatever path they choose to take. And now, the qualification that I give behind my reasoning is that I'm a veteran, and as Prince Harry was, I served in Afghanistan on the ground, did 2 tours, just the same as Prince Harry, and actually one of the tours that he was on overlapped with one of mine.
Really?
Now, anyone that served will tell you that the Iraq and Afghan conflict, no matter your political view, it was horrendous. The toll on your mental health, the toll on those who didn't come back, the families, life and limb. Now, Prince Harry, let's not forget, he did two of those tours. So I believe he's paid his debt to his country.
There's the music, I'm just wasting time.
My brother.
There we go. Right, fair enough. Prince Harry or Piers Morgan?
Prince Harry. Look, Prince Harry, whatever you think of him, Prince Harry served us in combat, and I can tell you I served alongside him, and he was not treated any differently from anybody else until people worked out who he was, and then selfies came out. But he was lucky, actually. Most people didn't have that. Well, in fact, nobody had their photos with them in Helmand, so there was not that many photos. But he was incredibly courageous, and he served with distinction. And since he's left, the Invictus Games has changed the lives of thousands of veterans around the world, and I think that's I'll always be grateful to him for that.
Okay. Now.
I'm an American. I have no reason to sort of toot his horn, if you will, on what I saw. And what I saw is it's someone who is from a very obviously elite background and rich background, and yet they cast it aside, came down range, got shot at, put his life on the line, led by example, and it was impressive. I mean, you know, being an American, I had to be impressed. One of the mornings I was there.
So that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. I just wanted to hear the videos. The first one, it was very loud. I'm gonna change the music. All right, next tweet. It's interesting that ITV is trying to position themselves as responsible journalists here. Time will tell. There's the rolling eye. Oh my God, 3 minutes. What else are they saying here? All right, some of these might be a video by themselves.
Hello and welcome to Talking Royals. I'm Charlene White, and the setup is a little bit different today because anyone who's been watching any of the news programmes over the past few days would have seen that Prince Harry is in Ukraine. Well, the only broadcast team that is with them is our very own Talking Royals superstars. That would be Chris and Lizzie. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, we're going to hear your exclusive interview with Prince Harry in just a bit, but tell us a little bit about your trip. We've been keeping the secret squirrel for a little while, haven't we? We've known for a few weeks that you're going to be heading out there, haven't we?
Yeah, you've known, we've known. We just couldn't share it with anyone. You know, at the end of every podcast, you say, what's going on next week? Well, the one thing we couldn't say was, oh, yeah, by the way, we're flying to Poland and we're getting an overnight train into Ukraine and then we're going to be with Prince Harry in Kyiv. So, sorry about that, but this is where we are. And but I'm sure most people understand why we can't talk about these things in advance.
Yeah, and Lizzie, because that is really important, isn't it? Is that we don't leak where you're going, especially in places like Ukraine where Prince Harry is concerned.
Yeah, we are, in a privileged position, and we are privy to a lot of information about what members of the royal family are doing, and that comes with a responsibility around embargoes and particularly around security. And on a trip like this, that is it's particularly important. So we have, as Chris said, known about this for a while, but for the rest of the world, when he stepped off that train in Kyiv on Thursday, it was a surprise that he was here. We were at the station to see him walk off the train and onto the platform and begin the visit. But his visit, while he's been here, what he's been doing, the engagements, they have been kept tightly under wraps until it is safe for us to report on them, and that is for his safety, the safety of his team, the safety of the people he is meeting and working with. So it is really important that we respect that.
But in terms of, you use the word embargo, and for a lot of people who don't sort of, hang around in media circles like we do, may not necessarily know how important that is. But when Harry and Meghan went to Australia just last week, a lot of the Australian press were accused of completely flouting those embargoes and potentially putting the couple at risks. And that has had an impact on just what the media has been told, other than you guys, obviously, this time round.
Yeah, actually, as we understand it, when that happened in Australia, they had to kind of reorganise everything that they were doing in Sydney on a certain day because suddenly the plan that had been given to some select organisations found its way into a well-known online publication, shall we say, and they had to change their plans. In
one of the videos I think I did, I remember editing it yesterday, but it was recorded several days ago. And I said, when I think it was the one where William was sitting in that race car, and I said, they must have known that Harry was gonna be in Ukraine doing the things that he was doing. Look at that black. God damn. William is so aggressively boring. It was blatant stupidity. Meanwhile, his brother is working with the Halo Trust using AI-powered drone to spot landmines and save lives. I mean, the people who's advising him, They probably really think that was a good idea. It's like the blind leading the blind. They must have known Harry was going to be out there. They must have known. Then again, you have Chris Ship who interviewed him. They must have known. And they said, keep it down low. So for next time, Harry will let them know. And then they quickly set him up for to do this nonsense. Was it earlier this year? One of the squaddies went and looked in their itinerary, their calendar, what they'll be doing. It was kind of empty. So maybe this was an impromptu thing once they know Harry was going to be doing something. Meanwhile, okay, I did that. And Ukraine doing the things that he was doing. And then for the UK to have William go do that particular event so they could do the comparison, this kind of thing. I did say it in that video. So they have leaked it probably to the palace. The palace must have known, in my humble opinion. All right? They're talking about the secrecy and all of that. Nah. Someone in that particular office where that TV station, ITV, must have told the palace about Harry's gonna do something in Ukraine. And then to quickly set up William to go do that engagement. All right, it's clear they're working hard to gain access to Harry and Meghan's future trip and the Invictus game. I forgot about that, the Invictus. Harry better be careful with these people. He better be careful with them. I don't trust them. The world may not know that Harry was going to go over there, but I think because of that knowledge of it, they probably said to somebody in the palace. Damn straight. At this point, I will hazard a guess. They are looking at the numbers the couple are pulling in and factoring and paying for photos. They have no choice but to fall in line with the Sussex's team's protocols, especially since Harry proved they were corrupt. Game done change. Just look at how they throw their friends from the Daily Mail and others under the bus as if to say, Harry, we didn't break the embargo. They did. We're reliable. Chose us to cover your future trips. All right? They are literally trying to get a pat on the head for doing a professional job. Exactly. They piss me off. In fact, I can't stand the fact that the Taliban ship was giving the interview. Well, I believe he is on best behavior. We will see if he can keep it up. The thing for me is if ITV knew the king, or at least his team must have known. I think so too. This is what I didn't even see that video of that interview of Chris Ship right here. And I said it in, in the William thing. And I said, they must have known. They must have known. All right, they were meeting military people over there. And over there, it's a security conference. The government and the king knew, plus had to give clearance so they can miss us with this BS narrative. There's the rolling eye. They clearly want future access to Sussex event like Invictus. Whatever's here, that's it. There appears to be a new accommodation with UK press and the Sussexes after the court cases. Could be. Prince Harry has proven that what he says about their conduct is true. He's made them accountable. They need to treat facts. He is litigious with the respect it deserves. Stop telling lies. After they went to the Taliban for comment on Harry's time in the military, they are hoping we forgot that. The squad don't forget. Next tweet. I do not want to make another video. Oh my God, I still have a lot to share with you. All right, Prince William is known for demanding total loyalty from the royal press pack. Also, it is no secret that Prince William does not forget or forgive easily when it comes to Prince Harry. With Chris Ship of ITV News giving Harry such positive and fair coverage in Ukraine this week, how many days until the Kensington Palace sources start cutting him off? Can a royal correspondent survive being fair to both brothers in 2026? Chris Ship is smart to break away from the rageful norm. If he is continued down that path, there will be a place for him that none of the others so-called royal reporters can touch. I am sure Chris knows details about William that we don't. He knows Prince Harry is the better brother. Maybe Chris Ship is realizing that news of substance come from Prince Harry and not his other brother. There will be incandescent rage, but what is Will doing that is of interest? All right, there's some good comment, but I need to move on. Maybe, okay. He is not being fair. He is trying to erase what Harry has done. They are hoping that everyone just forget what a shady person Harry really is. We won't forget. We won't go away. What? All right, if you... These people are crazy. Okay, so there's the rest you could read. The other one was a Deranger. Next one. I don't want to waste time reading that nonsense. All right, Eden. The Sussexes are running the Montecito branch of the House of Windsor. Oh, God. Why are they surprised at their charity work? The royal family knew when Harry and Meghan stepped away that this was the plan. It's why they set up Archwell. I guess they expect it to be a do-nothing effort like Will and Kate's charity work. I don't see why people are outraged. They combine money making with public engagement. When Chuckles and Trigger bring cash stuff holders back from the UAE, and profitable side hustles were standard practice for Pedro when he was a trade envoy. Has anyone noted that Harry and Meghan appear to have been the only one paying millions to rent for Frogmore while the rest pay peppercorn rent, meaning nothing? Harry was always treated horribly. Yeah. This one is talking about Frogmore, and he even paid for the renovation because they were getting on his damn nerve. You see, God reward them, all right? They're doing just well. Please tell Eden the Sussexes are running their private lives from California, nothing else, meaning they can do whatever the hell they want to do. All right, Maureen Richard Eden must have mercury poisoning from Middleton's mucky dog food. All right, I don't know. Let's move on. I know he got paid with dog food a couple years ago. Next one. All right, what is this now? Charles does not qualify for his medals. They were all given to him by his mom for service he then performed long after his 5-year stint in the Navy. All right, let's go into that and then I'll come back out. Let's pause. King Charles III's medal are a mix of commemorative medals, long service awards, and orders of cavalry. Here's a quick guide to what you're seeing and what you may not spot during the state visit. All right, let's listen to this. Let's make it bigger.
The King is often seen wearing a full set of medals and decorations with his military uniform. Worn together, they represent a record of service and responsibility, reflect the allegiance the armed forces pledge to the Crown, and honour the men and women who continue to serve on behalf of the United Kingdom. The King is often seen wearing a full set of medals and decorations with his...
18 seconds. I thought they were going to go by... I got my cup of coffee, getting ready to listen what each of those medal means, but no. Alright, you could pause and read these. Alright, so there's this one explaining. There's that. Okay, let's pause. Stolen valor, insulting all servicemen and women. Here's a quick guide to what you're seeing and what you may not spot during the state visit. Charles, his former mistress, and the Willy Wonka. I don't want to go to that. I think it's the same thing, right? Okay, let me move on. I don't want to waste time on that. All right, so this is Erica, TikTok. All right, let's pause. The man that Prince Harry has become is not appreciated enough, but he is getting the global recognition he deserves. Who knew we will miss seeing a person with a spine so much? Thank you, Erica. Christine09 on TikTok. All right, let's go into it. It's 2 videos, and then there's no comment.
As much as I wish this interview with Prince Harry went to someone other than Chris Ship, I do want to say something in regards to what Harry had to say. He is 100% right. He will always be a member of the British royal family, sadly. And not sadly for him, because he's very proud of his family despite everything that they put him through. And he still wants to represent them the best way he can, although he represents no one but himself. He represents no country. He represents no government.
Invictus.
But the government understands how absolutely valuable and necessary Prince Harry is, because this is something that you couldn't send William on. You can't send William in a room where you had dignitaries, generals, prime ministers, former presidents to talk about the cleanup efforts and the lack of agreement going on globally, which is why we have all these wars springing up and out. And there's always this delicate thing where the royals can't talk about politics. Oh, but they can sit in docked race cars for $2 million and consider it work. Stop playing with us. But what Prince Harry essentially is saying is this: I will always work. I will always do what's right. I will always use my voice and my platform, despite a whole media machine that is trying to tear me down. I will always step up. I don't have times to stand behind the line and just be silent. I have to stand up, not only for himself, but for his veteran cohort who are just being wildly misunderstood and misrepresented in all of this, especially the wounded vets, the ones who made the ultimate sacrifice and have lost limbs, their sanity, and for some of them, families.
Yep, she's right.
So yes, if anyone's going to speak on this, it definitely should be Prince Harry, because here's the thing, and I don't think England understands the lion you all made Prince Harry. You guys, not all of you, please don't come in here with that nonsense.
I'm glad she made that distinction. That's good. It's not all. Okay, let's continue. I'm agreeing 100% so far.
Not all of you, but a sizable amount of you helped with the Powlon, helped with the racism, helped with the violent threats. Right. And yet this man is still being cordially invited to sit in some of the most highest ranked spaces.
With what she just said here, go back to some of my earlier videos, how I used to scream at some Brits. Where are they? Where are the Brits to say something? They all, at that time, I felt like all of them kept their mouth shut. But later on, I learned they're starting, okay? They're getting better. They're more speaking up and things like that. But let's continue. So I agree with her.
And speak on behalf of people just like me who really needs some strong leadership here to not only call out not just Donald Trump, but all world leaders who think that what's going on here is absolutely fine. It's okay. Everything's burning, but it'll work itself out.
Why do you think my channel came about? Because I saw it was wrong. It was wrong. This is the thing here. When you see something is wrong, you don't just accept it. Do your part. We're not telling you to do what each and every influencers are doing. It may not be your strength. But if you have a say or certain thing, it may not be on social media or whatever, but if it is wrong, don't jump on it. And for it to continue. How many young people who grew up in the Trump era, and that's all the BS that they are seeing. They never seen any sensible things prior to that. So we allowing for this nonsense to continue if we shut our mouth, making it believe like it is okay to do. I'm 100% with Erica. Let's continue.
And I do want to add something else. It is only Prince Harry who actually put out a statement when Trump was highly disrespectful to England and saying that not only are your vessels toys, but that you helped like zero zilch nada during the Afghanistan war. And it was Prince Harry who said, not so fast, quiet piggy. Not even your precious royals did that, because why? They want a seat at the table with Donald Trump. They want to kiss his ass. They want to bat their eyelashes at him because, you know, soft diplomacy. But you don't get to diplomacy until you put it on the table.
It could be many things. I understand what Erica is saying, but on my branch of things, it could be many things. They could be on the same team, but they're trying to be sensible, pretend they're not, but they are. It could be also the kind of the Epstein list where they capture them and they have to play along. It could be all of that. But the fact that Harry is not in the same mess with these people. He uses platform to do, he even call out Putin. All right? So let's continue.
And that's something that Charles is not going to do. He's not going to have Trump walk back the insults and the tariffs that he's threatening you all with today. So England, that's y'all business. You all work it out. But when it comes to Prince Harry and the man he is today and the man that is representing self, I am very, very proud of him. And I'm sure if his mother was alive, she would be very, very proud of him. Even if his brother and his father and the rest don't care or feel like that he has no say-so in the matter, I think that anyone who can make global news on this scale for just standing up with a microphone and going, fix this shit in the eyes of some of the most powerful people in the world, I don't know, y'all. That sounds like boss shit to me. Anyway, you all enjoy your weekend. Bye.
All right. Yeah, she's right. There's no comment. Let's move on. Let me retweet it. Very good point of Erica. If I was on TikTok, I would have followed her. Next tweet. King George. Okay, I think, okay, I'm exactly 30 minutes. Oh my God, I didn't want to do another video. The next video that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start with this, okay? So please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. I might put it on App Team Sussex, the next video. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching.